Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine, and thank you for joining us here on WEAC TV 24 for this Friday morning, March 14th. I'm Ellen Tibbetts-Hurst, and we have some great guests lined up for the Rise and Shine with Alabama Cares, and today is no different. It's Nutrition Month, and today we have a registered dietitian with us, Mandy Williams. Good morning, Mandy. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How are you?
No, it's Friday, right?
Thank goodness.
We've got to be doing good.
Friday.
And we both got the memo. We're wearing green because
That's
Monday
right.
is
St. Patty's
Day. So yeah. So we were talking earlier about it is Nutrition Month.
Yes.
March is Nutrition Month. And I know, guys, people don't want to talk about nutrition and exercise and all that kind of stuff. But it's something we have to talk about, especially if you want to. You only get one body and only one life, and you got to take care of it, right?
Absolutely.
And since I work with caregivers and the senior population, I asked you to come on to talk a little bit about caregiver nutrition and the senior population, but we'll focus on caregivers first because, as we talked about earlier, I see this all the time in my 24 years that I've worked with seniors. It's just amazing to me how many caregivers don't take care of themselves because they're so focused. And it's wonderful that they're taking care of their loved ones. I mean, I was guilty of it too. I took care of my mom and my dad, but they just forget about themselves.
Right.
They let the doctor's appointments go, they let the nutrition go because I got to feed mom, I got to feed dad, or whatever, and they let it go. So what are some tips that you could give to caregivers?
So for caregivers, taking care of yourself is absolutely part of taking care of your loved one. If you can't perform the duties to take care of them, then you're going to have to find someone else to take care of them.
And we always say if you don't take care of yourself, who's going to take care of them?
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that happens all the time.
It does. So you get burnout, you get just people not knowing what to do, who to turn to anymore. So taking care of yourself is absolutely a priority for every caregiver. So one of the number one things you can do is eat better or, do your best to,
right.
It's a challenge for everybody, but when you're also trying to take care of somebody else, it can be difficult, but you want to, if you eat right, you're going to have more energy, you're going to be able to, your immune system is going to be improved, it strengthens your bones. So we all know that sometimes in caregiving you're moving and you're tugging, and so we need strong bones, we need strong muscles. Lower your own risk of heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers, lower your risk of needing a caregiver one day.
Right.
And then just trying to improve your digestion. We all know how bad you feel if you're having heartburn or other stomach issues. It's just not fun.
No, it's not. And it makes you feel bad.
It
and then
does.
On top of that, you're having to be on your A game all the time to be a caregiver too, and that's hard. Emotionally, it's hard. So physically, it's you got to feed not only your soul sometimes, but you got to feed your body too.
For sure. But you also need adequate rest. So I know that's hard, when you're trying to balance taking care of somebody, but also balance all your home responsibilities, or, if you have spouse or kids or grandkids or,
life.
just all the things. You have a job. So you need adequate rest. So one of the best ways to do that is to just try to go to bed at the same time of day. Or same time of night every day, and get up at the same time every morning. I know sometimes it's tempting when we can to sleep in, but then when you sleep in, sometimes the rest of your day you're still kind of groggy.
Right.
So,
And I know that, and we can elaborate a little bit on this too. I know that a lot of times that some of my caregivers tell me, because I used to teach a wellness class for my caregivers, and I would tell them the same exact thing that you said, like make sure that you go to bed at the same time. And then I would have caregivers that said, well, I have to sleep when they sleep.
Yeah.
Because,
that's
because
what
when they have sundowners or something like that, it's a little bit different for them. So that's understandable. I mean, we get that. But, eating healthy is one of the best, and I know a lot of caregivers say, well, the healthier foods, because I've heard this too, the healthier foods are more expensive, or you know, and I always try to tell them, and I'm sure you probably would agree, to shop on the outskirts of the grocery store, not the inside, because that's where all the food with the preservatives are.
Yeah, but some of the canned foods now, you can get the lower sodium options,
True.
and you know they're canned at the peak of freshness. So sometimes their nutrients are better than what's at the in the fresh area, because those have been, you know, those have been harvested, and then they've got to sit on a truck, and then they've got to go to the wholesaler, then they've got to get to the grocery store,
right?
And then you buy them at the grocery store, and you put them in that bin in your refrigerator, and they sit there for how long before you eat them.
That's
so
true.
Sometimes the canned and the frozen can be more nutrient dense because they just haven't sat there and had the vitamins and minerals kind of wear down.
Right.
So, but with that being said, you do want to stay away from the ultra processed things like the cookies and chips and crackers and all those kinds of things.
And one of the things you said too is, like, you know, of course, to achieve and maintain a healthy weight and to curb cravings. How can they curb cravings? Is that by eating little meals throughout the day, or how do you do that? Because I need to know this.
Yes. Well, again, just being consistent with what you eat, trying to, just like sleeping on a regular schedule, eating on a regular schedule, and planning your meals. So if you know what you're going to have for breakfast, what you're going to have for lunch, what you're going to have for dinner, then you're going to be less likely to reach for something else, you know, or just be like, I don't have time to make lunch. But if it's already made, then it's done, and you're not going to be tempted to
meal prep.
Kind of, yeah. I just use leftovers a lot. I don't really do a lot of meal prep, but you know, my dinner, it makes 4 servings, so I've got enough for, you know, lunch for the next couple of days. So just planning ahead makes you not necessarily have those cravings, or if you do, you're able to say, yeah, but I already have this made, so you know, you're less likely to waste it, you know, if it's there. Now, every once in a while, you know, we all deserve a little treat.
Right. So is it good to, for everyone, to include caregivers, to at least eat 3 times a day, or is it healthier to eat 4 or 5, like have 3 meals and then have a healthy snack in between?
Yeah,
how
snacks are really good, especially, you know, depending on how nutrient dense your meals are. You know, I can tell a difference when, if I eat my favorite oatmeal recipe for breakfast, it holds me over until lunch and I don't need anything else. But if I eat something a little different, maybe if I'm in a rush and I just do a protein shake, I'm going to need a mid-morning snack. So it just, you know, really depends on what you've eaten and how, you know, satiated you are from it.
Right.
And then, you know, a lot of times those quick, easy meals, though, your body does digest them very quickly because they're, you know, simple carbohydrates a lot of times. And, you know, so when you digest it quickly, you get hungry again. And, you know.
And is it true, because I've always heard this, is it true that you should eat like a king at breakfast, right?
Right.
A queen or a prince maybe at lunch, and a pauper at dinner, because you don't want to go to bed with a bunch of like carbs and something really heavy. So, or does it matter if you eat before a certain time? What's your opinion on that?
To me, it depends on your lifestyle. You know, if you're somebody that, and your own preference, if you're somebody that just doesn't like breakfast, you know, then trying to force
breakfast, but not early in the morning.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yes. So it's really just what works for you, so that you can get the nutrients that you need, get the vitamins and minerals, get the protein, the carbs, the fats. You know, you need all of that. So just, you know, whatever schedule works for you to get that in is going to be the best thing.
Right.
So I say, you know, whatever you have time for. A lot of times on the weekends, my biggest meal might be lunch, you know, but during the week, usually my biggest meal is dinner.
So that's how I am right now.
Yeah, but as long as it's
good or bad.
As long as it's a, you know, a reasonably healthy dinner, you know, with your proteins, fruits and veggies, then you're doing pretty good. Now, if you're throwing in a lot of rich desserts or sauces or, you know, that kind of thing with your dinner, that might not be the best thing.
Right.
But just definitely, you got to eat when you can, what your schedule allows, and then just making sure that you're focusing on getting those fruits and vegetables and those proteins, so that you do get all the nutrients that your body is needing.
And with all the fad diets and stuff that's going around. You know, you always hear keto diets, you hear all those kind of things, you know. And I used to have to tell, because I used to compete in fitness a long time ago.
Okay.
And one of the things that, you know, we learned was that you have to have some carbs, because I mean, because you can't just cut them out, because your brain
there is a
runs
thing
on carbs.
Yes.
So if you don't think clearly, people,
Yes.
that's probably because you're not getting enough carbs.
That's right. There's a thing called the blood-brain barrier, and carbs pass through it. So the others, protein, fats, they don't really pass through there. So you need the carbs. That's why a lot of people, when they start talking about when they're doing keto, and they say they have the keto flu, that's because their brain's not, you know, their brain's starving. They need carbs.
That makes sense.
Yes.
So that is true.
It is true. And, you know, just like with any diet, you know, diet is just what we eat, not necessarily trying to lose weight.
Right.
But I mean, there are some good uses for a keto diet. People with epilepsy have been shown to benefit from a keto
that's
diet.
Interesting.
Yeah. But for most people, we need the carbs for energy. So,
right. And I always think diet is just such a bad word.
Right.
Because, I mean, because I just feel like it's lifestyle changes.
Yes.
And baby steps, right?
Absolutely.
You know?
Just focusing on one thing a week. Baby steps,
like,
little
don't do
changes.
it all at one time, because you're not going to stick to it.
Yeah, you'll get overwhelmed so quickly, for sure.
We were making me feel better.
Good.
So we've got so much to talk about, and I appreciate that you're here. So, so when you hear somebody that has they're on a keto diet, do you try to tell them this is not for you?
Well, you know, I'll talk to them about it, but most of the time, you know, my specialty is geriatrics and dementia patients, and you know, that's what I primarily deal with. And
thank goodness for you.
So most of the time when people start talking about that, I try to step away a little bit.
I gotcha.
You know, if they're asking my genuine opinion, then I'll share it, but sometimes, you know.
We have so much to talk about. I mean, so much to talk about. So we are going to go to break. We're going to go take a pause for a good cause and check in with our sponsors. And you are watching WEAC TV 24's Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and we will be right back.
Cutter's Pizzeria is celebrating 5 years with 2 locations in Alexandria and Oxford, Alabama. Open Monday through Saturday for dine-in, takeout, and delivery. Y'all come on out for our popular 5-pound pizza, wings, salads, pastas, and more. You can find out more about Cutter's Pizzeria at cutterspizzeria.com.
I want to live. The leading cause of death of young Americans like me is gun violence, and oftentimes tied to substance misuse. NBA, NFL, NCAA, most of you look like me, and our communities need you now more than ever. Let's make I want to live more than just a hashtag. Let's make it a movement. I am a baller against bullets.
I'm Alan Parnell, the Parnell Insurance Agency. We've been here in Oxford and Alabama, Tallapoosa, Georgia since 1990. With Auto Owners Insurance, we're able to give customers competitive pricing along with excellent coverages. Parnell Insurance can handle all of your personal, commercial, and life insurance needs. We have a very experienced staff, both personal and commercial. All together, we've got about 125 years experience. Come see what our insurance agency can do for you in Oxford, Alabama, and Tallapoosa, Georgia.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Whether you are traveling or on the rebound, get with your local Allstate and huddle up to find the best options for you. With a strong variety of coverages to choose from, Allstate is on a mission to get you in good hands today.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Rise and Shine with WEAC TV 24, and I have my guest here, Miss Mandy. She is a registered dietitian, and we were just talking about exercise. Oh dear. And Mandy, gosh, she just sat there and told me she has ran how many?
Too many. A lot of half marathons.
Wow.
Yes, I love.
Like, we need to be drinking her water, get motivated. But we
Lots
were
of
talking-
coffee.
But we were talking about the importance of exercise and aerobics, and especially strength training.
Yes.
For women our age, especially. But with caregivers, like we were talking about earlier, I feel like it's very important. Like you said, that you have caregivers that are pulling and tugging and having to lift and turn and bathe and do all these things. Plus, they're cleaning the house, and plus they're cooking, and plus they're doing life,
Yes.
whether or not they're working or taking care of their kids or husband and all that stuff. So it's very important. Exercise is very important. That's something nobody wants to talk about. So elaborate a little bit about that, about
Right.
caregivers and their seniors.
So, caregivers and the seniors, we all need aerobic exercise. So that's a lot of times what we think about with the cardio. So whether that's running, bicycling, rowing, swimming. But the easiest form is walking,
Something to get your heart rate up.
Yeah, get the heart rate up. But then we need the strength training, so weights, any type of weight training that you can do. I know that's not my strength.
Well, see, I'll lift the weights for you. You run.
Okay, we just need a swimmer for our triathlon team.
Because if I'm running, you better get behind me because something's after me. I mean, I'm just saying.
Absolutely, I understand. But then we also need to think about balance, especially for our
Oh,
seniors.
yeah.
That's a big concern. Our seniors fall.
You wouldn't think about that as far as exercise, but that is very important.
It is. And there's YouTube has so many different options available for chair exercises,
Yes.
balancing exercises. So lots of things that you can look up on YouTube. Of course, TikTok. I think we still have TikTok.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We still have the TikTok.
I can't keep up. But so many ways that you can, see. And I mean, some of them are professionals, some of them aren't, but a lot of them still have good ideas.
Right.
Something
to move.
Yes, and make it fun. The seniors, if it's entertaining, that's going to engage them mentally as well as physically. So, you get a twofold bonus from that.
Right. And I know that our senior centers, through our agency, they do bingo size.
Oh, fun.
It's a lot of fun. So they're at the senior centers. We have one of the Amanda Vendor. She's our director of the nutrition program, and she actually has one of her workers that goes out to all the senior centers from time to time, and they do bingo size. So they're like playing bingo and they don't know that they're exercising, kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's, and they play music and they'll do the swim and they'll do this and do that while they're doing bingo.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's fun.
That's fun, yeah.
But and you were talking too about muscle mass and about how as we get older we lose
Yes,
that.
our seniors of 60 or even at 50 for women especially, we start to lose our muscle mass. So anything we can do to prevent that loss is going to
Correct.
be a bonus. So whether it's eating adequate protein or doing the strength training, lifting weights, or just using your body weight exercises is
Right,
great too.
stay active.
The squats, the push-ups. You can do wall push-ups.
There's a
You have to
lot
get
of-
on the ground.
Yes, and there's a lot of neat apps too that
Yes.
you can put on your phone that like I know there's one called From the Couch or like the
For the 5K?
Yeah,
Couch to
for the
5K,
Yeah,
yes,
couch to
yes.
5K. And I know that there's other ones that and I'm a big MyFitnessPal app. I
yeah.
mean, that's where I keep up my calories and all that
Yep, I
stuff. But
love
it
it.
also has a part on there where you can use it for exercise and all that, because you can, you pay a little bit, but it's worth it to me. I love that app. But
Yeah.
there's so many apps that chair exercises
Yes,
and
yes.
your own body weight, like you said, doing squats and doing things up against the wall or
Right.
whatever. So,
Yeah, yeah.
and you don't need a lot of equipment or anything
No,
per
not
se.
at all.
I mean, because
Some resistance bands are good.
right, and there's some people that even say, hey, get you some.
You could use a jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, a lot of people get like milk jugs and
Yeah,
stuff, and you can
yeah.
fill it with sand or whatever, just to not all the way up at first, but
Right.
just to give you a little bit of weight. So exercise is very important. I know that you guys don't want to hear that, but it is important.
It is. Yes.
Very
Movement is key.
Yeah. So we were talking about meals, and we've got samples here.
Yeah.
But we were talking about meal tips. And your meal tips, I know you've got a bunch of them because I need to hear about these too. So talk about meal tips.
Well, so to me, the most important thing is planning. You have to plan, otherwise you're gonna just stop at a fast food place or order different things. So planning ahead, using your favorite recipes. Like I have, my mom used to have this little index card file that all the family favorite recipes were in. I have a place on my phone where I have, my favorite recipe stores, or Pinterest. I love Pinterest, the app where you can just save the different recipes.
Right.
But just going through and picking out, 5 recipes for that week to prepare your dinner.
Right.
And then getting your grocery list from the recipe so that you can make sure that you have everything on hand. Because if you don't have it on hand, you're not going to fix it. If I don't have what I need, I'm not going to stop at the grocery store and then go home and cook. I'm just going to stop somewhere and get food.
Yeah, correct. You are so right.
I've got to have it on hand.
Yes.
So having all those favorites, but then also not being afraid to try something new. To me, that's kind of what separates humans from animals when it comes to eating, is having the ability to try new things, add spices, cook it in a different way.
Right.
Just, the variety that we can have, because like the cows, they just eat the same grass all day long.
All day long, and they're okay
sometimes
with
they get in the onion patch, but they eat the grass all day long. But we have so many different herbs and spices and different oils and different nuts and fruits.
And what kind of oils should we be using?
So it just depends on the temperature that you're cooking at, really. So olive oil, is great because it's got all the omega-3 healthy fatty acids that we need, but it has a low smoke point. So if you're doing something that's like, you can't fry in olive oil, but avocado oil is a higher temperature. So if you're gonna say put something in an air fryer and you want to give it a little spray, you could use the avocado oil. If you're roasting something in the oven, if you're roasting something at 400 degrees, you really should use an avocado oil instead of the olive oil.
I'll learn something new.
Yeah, because you pay a lot of money for some of these olive oils, but then when you cook it, you're just losing all the benefits. So you're really just, your money's going up in smoke.
Right.
So
gotcha. And right now there's such a big controversy right now in the news about the oils, the seed oils.
Oh yeah.
That's all like in the news right now.
Yes.
So
my doctor assigned me a book to read about that, and I haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, you'll have to let me know about that, because that is so interesting to me, because they had, I saw on the news where, it's one of the burger places, one of the famous burger places, and I can't remember which one it is, but they started using beef talon.
Oh, I know which one it is.
It's one of the new burger places.
Oh, the new ones? Well,
not one of the new, but one of the popular burger places that started using that, and they were saying how the French fries were just like out of this world. Like, they tasted so much different than the seed oils.
Yeah.
That everything was so. But they said it was much better for you than seed oil. Is that true?
I think the research is still out there as far as the seed oils and that kind of thing. It's one of those that kind of caught on in social media, but if you go look at the research, it's still kind of out there. I mean, an oil is a fat, so regardless, we don't need a whole lot of it anyway.
Correct.
So, but the beef fat, the duck fat, all these different fats are, sure, they add a lot of flavor, but
the key probably is to keep from frying foods as much as you can.
Absolutely.
But in the South, and I say this all the time. We fry Oreos. What is wrong with us?
There's not enough fat in the Oreo already.
Buns, we fry them.
Yeah. Well, and the same thing with like vegetables. We take a squash and we make this squash casserole that has all this butter and sour cream and cheese in it. So we take a very healthy food.
Don't get me wrong, it's good.
It is good.
But it's not the healthiest in the world.
Yeah, you kind of take away the benefits of eating the vegetable when you add all that extra stuff to it.
And one of my favorite ways to eat vegetables is to roast them.
Yes, roasting vegetables is absolutely wonderful.
With some butter flavored olive oil or something, and some little like garlic or some kind of spices on it.
Yes, I love roasting vegetables. I used to think that Brussels sprouts were disgusting.
Love them.
But if you roast them, oh my gosh.
And they'll get crunchy on the outside.
Yes, they're amazing roasted.
And also, if you put a little honey on them with some bacon.
Oh, I haven't tried that.
Oh, that's good. It's so good.
Yes.
So, you said to try something new. And
But also have some quick meals planned, you know, because life gets hectic. And if we have, you know, my son played soccer, and on days that he had a soccer game, I made sure that, you know, whatever dinner was, I could make in 15 minutes. You know,
that's
so
important.
it was already just ready to go, and we could have that meal, and we didn't have to stop at a fast food place.
Right.
You know, we could still
Which is
get
not
that.
the best in the world.
Right. I mean, you know, you can try to get healthier foods at fast food places, but it's still going to be higher in sodium, higher in fat than typically what you're going to prepare at home.
And everything has all the preservatives in it, all the corn syrup, all the bad things that's in it.
All the
so.
things we want to try to limit. Every once in a while, it's nice for a little, you know, trip down memory lane.
Right.
But, you know, a Happy Meal after school every day is not a good thing. So we want to make sure that we're, you know, using those meals as smartly as we can.
Right. As smartly as we can. Or that we want to be.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. But then the next thing you have to think about is the shopping part of it. I know, you know, as a caregiver, you might already be stretched for time, and, you know, maybe it's difficult to take your, you know, loved one with you to the grocery store.
That's
and then you
very
have to think
true.
about finding someone to stay with them.
Right. Especially if somebody's bedbound or something.
Yeah,
It's very hard.
So, you know, now we have all the different delivery services, Instacart, and I think just about every grocery store delivers now. So it's great to be able to utilize those services. But I love going to the grocery store. I love seeing what else is in the aisle.
So you can try something new.
That's right. See what new flavor Oreo's out. Buy it, take it to work so I can try it, but not have it at home where I eat all of it.
Right. Yes. Yes.
So, yes. So definitely using those services. A lot of them are free. Some of them, you know, have a cost attached to them, but a lot of times that cost is going to be less than, you know, paying someone else to come stay with your loved one.
Or even gas, because sometimes people live pretty far away from the store sometimes.
That's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
And I want you to elaborate on all that too, and we're going to finish up, but it is actually Nutrition Month.
Yes.
Right. Is it Nutrition Awareness Month or just Nutrition Month?
Nutrition Month.
Okay, just Nutrition Month. Okay.
And I do need to give a shout out. So Wednesday was Registered Dietitian Day. So just a special shout out to all the registered dietitians out there that work so hard to make sure that, you know, we give great nutrition education to people out there, because it's definitely something that, you know, we need to focus on.
Oh, definitely. Thank goodness for dietitians. Thank you. Yes. So when we get back, we are going to finish talking to Mandy about all these other things and some of the things that we have over here on display. And so we are going to take a pause, and we're going to check in with our sponsors. And you are watching WEAC TV 24, Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and we will be right back.
At Bentley Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we care about you. We offer custom prosthetics, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and durable medical supplies. We're located here in Alexandria, Alabama, where it's a country feel but professional care. Come see us today.
Since 1848, First Bank of Alabama has been serving East Central Alabama, now serving 6 counties in East Central Alabama. We now currently have 13 locations, expanding to 15 locations. In 2024, we opened Anniston, right here in Calhoun County. Whenever we first came to Calhoun County, it was 2019 in Oxford. Whenever we're expanding, we're now going to Jacksonville in 2025. We look forward to continuing to be in your local hometown bank, right here in Calhoun County in East Central Alabama.
Hey guys, this is Blair Smith at Pediatrics Plus here in Anniston, located on Henry Road. I'm over here on the well side, but we do also have a sick side urgent care if you need us. We are more than happy to see you guys. Just come on, check us out if you get a fever, cough, or cold, or want to come in for a good checkup. Thank you.
brake, and muffler, we strive to perform exceptional service using premium quality parts to ensure your vehicle withstands the test of time. We do all automotive maintenance and repairs consisting of AC service, check engine light diagnostics, brakes, coolant, and exhaust. Give us a call today. Proudly serving our community to provide honest, high-quality service and repair at a fair price.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us on your Friday morning, March 14th. And we have been talking to Miss Mandy over here. We've been talking, she is a registered dietitian, and she's given us some great information, talking about things that sometimes we don't want to talk about, but we have to be healthy. So great information. I'm learning a lot. So we talked about shopping and exercising and all those things, and dealing with caregivers and the people that they're taking care of. So brain health and trying to slow the effects of aging. How can food and other things like, you did go over exercise earlier.
Yes,
that's one
we
of the
talked
ways.
about exercise. We talked about sleep. So food, exercise, and sleep, those are three things that are very important for making sure that we're, trying to slow the effects of the brain aging. We also need social engagement. So, clubs, volunteering, going to the senior center, church, all of those are great ways to stay engaged.
Yeah, senior centers are wonderful. We're over all of our senior centers in our 10-county region, and I agree with that because they do a lot of neat stuff, and it's a good way to just be with some friends and be with other people every day.
Absolutely, I love them. I encourage them to, to utilize those because it is a wonderful service.
Right.
And you also need the mental stimulation, so you can get that, at the senior center. But if you're, a senior that prefers to stay home, because we know not everybody's social,
right?
Then you can, try to learn new things. And
here's the list of things to do.
Yes, learning new things, puzzles, the Sudoku,
reading.
Reading, watching the show. Crafts, yes. Lots of different ways to have that mental
Anything
stimulation.
to make your brain work. Because if we don't use it, we lose it too.
Right. And just having conversations. A lot of the elderly especially get starved for conversation because their crowd around them is a lot smaller. They're not going to work every day, so those conversations really mean a lot to them, and it stimulates their.
Well, one of the because I do Alzheimer's and dementia education, and one of the things that I tell all of our clients all the time, this is really good to hear because I tell them, keep up with 5 people. Every week, because if you're keeping up with 5 people, you have to remember what you talked to them about the last time.
Yeah.
So if you call sister so and so from the church, and then you call your granddaughter, or you call a friend down the road, your neighbor or whoever, if there's 5 people that you can keep up with on a weekly basis, that engages you not only socially, but mentally. It's stimulating you because you're having to remember.
I'm gonna have to keep up with 5 people.
It's when we learned that, I went to the Rosalind Carter Institute for caregiving for my training, and that was one of the things that they really focused on was of course nutrition and exercise and sleep and all that stuff. But they were like, social is really big, and if you socialize, even because some people can't get out of the house. I mean that's some people physically they just can't, but if you're mentally you're okay, to where you can actually have conversations and everything, that's something that you can do to still have that social connection by the phone.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Or Zoom or or any of those kind of things.
Yeah.
So
there's so many options now. So
Yeah. Okay.
But then the next thing we want to do is manage our stress. Sometimes that's especially for caregivers, that's a huge challenge. But again, some of these things that we talked about with the exercise and the sleep helps with stress management as well. For me, running is a great way to handle my stress. Going out and just kind of getting that whatever has frustrated me out, by pounding the pavement, that, I feel amazing when I get done. So whatever your stress management is, a healthy stress management.
But I tell our caregivers all the time too that, when somebody from your church or your friends or your neighbors, that when they say, if you need me, call. Take them up on that
Yes.
sometimes because even you don't even have to leave the house, people. I mean, you know, I tell my caregivers, I mean, if you don't want to leave the house and you just want them to sit with it while you're in the let Calgon take you away. I mean,
Right,
you older people
yes.
will know what I'm talking about. But like, you know, but go and take you a bubble bath or go work in the garden outside or go
Yes.
cut the grass or whatever it is just to get out, like you said. I mean,
Yes,
just for
especially now
stress.
the weather's getting better. You know,
Yeah.
we've been through the winter doldrums. We need the sunshine. I totally believe in the healing power of sunshine.
And take your allergy medicine because
Yeah.
pollen's about to hit.
Yeah, if you do have that trouble, definitely
Yes.
take that. But, you know, soak up that sun. You get some vitamin D from it, you know, which a
Correct.
lot of people now are deficient in vitamin D because we're sitting under fluorescent lights at work or, you know, so we're not getting outside as much. And especially in the wintertime, even if you are outside, just the tilt of the earth on its axis and all that stuff affects the amount of vitamin D that you absorb. So get out there and soak it up. We really need it. A lot of people are deficient in it, and I went to the doctor last year and I was low in vitamin D and I was shocked. So I had to start taking the one pill I take a day is my vitamin D supplement.
Yeah, well, when I went to my checkup, my doctor I guess he didn't check for vitamin D. He just told me that I should be taking it at my age. At my age, what does that mean? But anyway, yeah, I get it.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, and it's a quick blood test too. So if you want to,
Maybe they did, because they did take my blood, so maybe they didn't.
They might have. Yeah.
Maybe he was just saying it in a nice way.
Right. But then also your vascular health, so your heart health. You know, your heart
Yes.
health is attached to your brain health. So taking care of that heart is so important to making sure that your mind is healthy as well. So,
Right.
you know, that, and a lot of the things that we talked about for mind health goes right along with the vascular health, with the healthy diet and the exercise and the, you know, eating lots of fruits and vegetables. They go hand in hand.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people don't want to talk about that, but like, I don't know when we're going to talk about these, but she does have some really good things up here.
Yes. So these are foods that there's a thing called the Neuro 9. So 9 foods
Neuro 9.
that you should be eating every day, or at least most days, to help strengthen your mind health as much as possible. So greens, things like spinach, kale, and collards. I know maybe not the most popular foods out there, but again, you can prepare them in different ways, and you might be surprised at how tasty they can be. Whole grains. So, you know, we've been hearing for years and years that we need to make at least half our grains whole.
Correct.
So, you know, oatmeal is a great way to get extra servings of whole grains. Whole wheat bread, if you eat toast every morning, make sure that first ingredient says whole wheat. Don't just look at it and say it's brown and it's whole wheat. They trick you. Another whole grain that I love is quinoa. It's got protein and the whole grain, so it's got the fiber, very filling. So, and it's a quick cooking grain too. It just takes about 15 minutes to cook.
Oh, wow.
So it's a
we have some
wonderful.
of that
I
here?
don't think I grabbed the quinoa. I should have. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
But just, you know, you can cook one batch and use it for several meals. It's a great grain. So definitely look for that in the grocery store. It's everywhere now. It used to be weird, but
Right.
now it's everywhere. You can find it very easily. Seeds, so things like sunflower seeds, and then I did bring some flax seeds. These, you want to make sure you get the milled flax seeds, make sure that it's milled, because if you just get the whole seed, your body's not going to really be able to, by the time it digests it, get down to the good part of it. So you want to get the milled flax seeds. Great source of healthy fatty acids, fiber. So this is
And they can sprinkle that, like, can you put that on like salads and stuff?
You can put it on salads.
What do you suggest?
I put it in my oatmeal.
Put it in your oatmeal.
Or you can add it to a smoothie. So you can even, so if you're vegan, a lot of vegan recipes will make a flax egg. So where they mix like a tablespoon of the flax seeds with 2 tablespoons of water, and you let it sit for a minute, it kind of gels up, and then it has the binding properties of eggs. But you can only do it in recipes that need like 2 to 3 eggs. If you're going, more than that, then just really stick to probably need to stick to eggs or find a different substitute. But you
Right.
can definitely use these as like a vegan substitute for eggs when you're baking.
How interesting.
Yeah, it's great. And then
Really?
chia seeds, you know, this has gotten a lot of attention with like chia puddings. It's another one that you can add to smoothies, or you can add to oatmeal, or you really want it with a fluid. You don't want to just sprinkle it on your
On
salad.
like a salad or something.
Yeah, it needs some kind of fluid base to go with it. Then it kind of gels up. That's what
So chia, we need to not put it on anything solid, and the flaxseed we could put like on avocado toast or something.
yeah, that would be good.
Okay, but that
absolutely.
we could not.
This one, yeah, you want to put it in like a smoothie or make the chia pudding or that kind of thing with it.
Okay.
Or you could put it in yogurt, just as long as it's got some type of liquid to go with it.
Oh, okay.
So
The pistachios, yeah.
Yes, so the pistachios for the nuts. So I love pistachios, love almonds, walnuts, pecans. You know, we're in Alabama. Pecans are like fantastic.
Yes.
So we thought. So, and the good thing about pistachios is, you know, nuts are very nutrient dense. So you can eat a handful of nuts and get a lot of calories and fat. They're a good source of, you know, it's healthy fats. But still, if you're somebody that's watching your weight, that may not be, you know, the best choice for you.
Right.
So having the shell on is a great way to kind of slow your snacking
And to
down.
limit yourself.
Yes.
Because you'll get tired of having to.
Yes, because I hate having to work so hard for my food.
That is a great point.
Yes,
That is a great point.
Love the pistachios, hate the shells.
Awesome.
But another thing are legumes. So legumes are things like lentils. These are great cooking.
lentils.
There's different ones. So like the red lentils, they cook really fast and get kind of soft. So some recipes red lentils aren't great for. The green lentils, they're good for adding to salads or using them as like a grain to make a
My
lentil
grandmother
grain
made
bowl.
lentil soup.
Oh, yeah, lentil soup.
I grew up in Holland. My Dutch grandmother, and she would make them with leeks.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like sausage, smoked sausage.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds really
Very,
good.
very good.
And very budget friendly too.
Yes.
You know, any of the dried beans are going to be very budget friendly. Then chickpeas, they're one of my favorites. They're great. You can roast them, you can air fry them, you can just add them as is to a salad for a little extra protein and fiber. So chickpeas are, you know, we use chickpeas to make hummus.
Hummus.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Lots of different flavors hummus out there.
Yes,
oh my
lots.
gosh.
Red roasted peppers.
Yes, that's one of my
favorite.
favorites.
That's one
yeah.
of my favorites. And we're going to have to, I want you to hold that thought.
Okay.
Because we're going to go over everything else too. So we are going to take a break and we're going to check with our sponsors. So you are watching WEAC TV 24's Rise and Shine with the Alabama Cares program, and we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Bob Couch and I'm the owner of Couch's Jewelers. We are your destination for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary and birthday gifts. We offer a wide selection of the best value diamond jewelry and engagement rings. We even gift wrap every purchase for free. And if you have some jewelry that is broken, no worries. Expert jewelry service is offered in-house. At Couch's Jewelers, our customer service is unmatched. If you would like a special jewelry item created just for you, please come to see us.
At Southern States Bank, we pride ourselves on being your bank. We're your neighbors and involved in the community. We're the bank featuring the Southern Rewards checking account, a cashback account with no ATM fees. We are on the cutting edge and always have a smiling face to help you out. So come to Southern States Bank, where we are committed to great service and being a great neighbor. Let us be the bank for you and your business.
Serving Calhoun County and the state of Alabama since 1994. Locally owned and operated, offering some of the most competitive interest rates in the mortgage industry, along with a wide variety of mortgage products. We are with you throughout the home buying process, offering you service before and after the close. Fast, reliable, local.
And you remember, if you need a home loan, call my daddy.
Hey guys, I'm Cameron Minton with Minton Home Center. Minton Home Center has been in business for over 40 years. We are a family-owned and operated manufactured home dealership. We offer affordable housing for our customers as well as a multitude of different financing options to help our customers get into a new home. When you come to Minton Home Center and you start looking around our lot, the first thing you will notice is that we have the most competitive prices in the industry.
Welcome back, everyone. You are watching Rise and Shine here on WEAC TV 24 this Friday morning, March 14th, and we hope that you all are having a wonderful day or start to your morning. We are talking to Miss Mandy, who is a registered dietitian. She's given us some really good information about things that you should eat in the Neuro 9. I gotta remember this.
Neuro 9.
Yeah, this is interesting. So continue on with the Neuro 9. Okay. So we talked about the legumes and we talked about the nuts and that kind of thing. So
the next thing is the cruciferous vegetables, which I did not bring any of those, but we know those as like broccoli, bok choy, cabbage, kale. You know, any of those that have the 4 segments, like the crucifix, that's where they get the cruciferous from. So when, you know, you're at the grocery store and you see that, you know, 4 segment there, that's your cruciferous.
Right. And the stem from which it came off of, like the end of it.
Yes, so they're so good for you. And again, they're another one that if you didn't think you liked, if you'd only tried it boiled or steamed, roast it and you will love it. Or even grilling vegetables is really popular too. And it
grilled cabbage is good.
Yeah.
Yes, especially if you put like different kinds of seasonings on it or whatever. It's really good.
I had a grilled romaine salad one time and I was like, oh my gosh, I never thought to do this. But that smokiness, oh, it was delicious.
And I know that a lot of people have the misconception, because I know I learned this. They say, oh, well, I eat greens, I eat lettuce, I eat iceberg lettuce, but there's nothing in iceberg lettuce.
Iceberg lettuce is
like
mostly
the worst thing
water.
That you could,
you got some water, a little bit of fiber, but not a whole lot of nutrients.
Right, there's hardly nothing in it.
If you're thinking about which salads to, you know, for your base, what lettuce to use, you might want to do a romaine or arugula or Bibb lettuce or the spring mix. You know,
with the baby spinach and all that in there.
All of those are going to be a much better base for you than the iceberg lettuce.
And don't like smear it and cover it all up with ranch dressing.
Right, like we said.
Southerners are so bad about doing.
Ranch.
Ranch, ranch.
Yes.
Because there's other things that you can put on your salads.
Yeah, you can avocado, you know, doing some avocado on your salad, or just a little bit of lemon juice on your salad. So this is really important too if you're having issues with your iron, anemia. So if you, when you're eating greens, you want to have a vitamin C source with it. So that's why a squeeze of lemon juice is wonderful on your greens, because it helps your body absorb that iron from the plant better. So vitamin C, orange juice, you know, lemon juice, orange juice, those are all good bases
to make your own kind of dressing where you can put that juice in there.
Mix
maybe
it with your healthy
oil
olive oil. Yeah, that's a great way.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so and back on the anemia iron issue, you also want to try not to drink tea or coffee when you're getting your iron sources, because those inhibit or slow your absorption of iron. So you want to try to stay away from those. Because a lot of us do have some iron issues, so we want to make sure that we get all the nutrients we can.
Right.
So we got our cruciferous berries. Berries are a wonderful, wonderful food. I brought some raspberries today.
Yum.
Always yummy, beautiful color. But raspberries are great. You can also do blackberries, strawberries. Strawberries will be in season here real soon. So they'll be delicious. But berries are a great source of nutrients for us. They're kind of lower on the glycemic index too. So if you're diabetic, berries tend to be one that won't raise your blood sugar as much. So it's a great way to, you know, get those fruits in. You know, and they're so tasty, especially as we're getting into that spring season. So definitely enjoy your berries. And then herbs and spices. So again, I just love the seasonings. So this is cumin. I love cumin. You use it in all kinds of different ethnic cooking, from Indian to Mexican to Mediterranean. Cumin is one of those that if you don't have it in your pantry, you should definitely get it.
My Dutch grandmother would use it with potatoes.
Oh yeah.
With fried potatoes.
Okay.
But she would not really fry them, but I mean, you know, she would put them in olive oil, but she would put cumin in.
Yes, I love cumin. I probably go through like this bottle in probably 2 weeks. It's so good. And then of course turmeric. I think a lot of people have heard about the health benefits of turmeric over the last few years.
I actually take a supplement of that every day.
Yeah.
With
A lot of people. Okay.
Because it's supposed to help you absorb
it.
Yeah.
Okay. But you can even like just sprinkle this in your tea or your coffee when you brew it, not like after brewed, but as you're brewing it, sprinkle it in there. But again, it's also just great, you know, if you're doing some Indian cuisines or just any vegetable, adding turmeric to the vegetables.
And turmeric helps with inflammation and joints and that kind of thing, right?
Yes, and also gives it great color, great flavor. I love, these are two of my favorite. Besides like garlic powder, you know, I love garlic on everything.
Garlic anything, yeah.
And then the last thing is tea. So green tea, white tea, black tea, oolong tea. Those are all great for our mind health. Of course, we want to be careful. We're not adding a bunch of sugar to it.
Correct.
But the teas are very, very good. You want to try to get at least one serving of tea.
This was ginger.
Oh yeah, I love the different spices that come in those easy squeeze bottles.
Yeah.
Yes, because ginger is kind of difficult to, you know, peel and then grate.
And it's really good for nausea.
It is, yes. But they have things like basil and cilantro in those easy squeeze tubes.
Tomato paste, all that
yes.
kind of
So
stuff.
it helps with the meal preparation as well. So instead of having to grate and chop and all that.
Does this count as part of your...
Oh, so peanut butter is
my favorite.
Oh my gosh. So it counts as a legume actually.
Does it
yes,
really?
Peanuts are a legume. They're not a nut. They're a legume. But I always
learned something new.
I always say if I ever went on a survival show, my one item I could take would be a jar of peanut butter. It's just the greatest food ever.
Yes,
It's got protein, it's got fat, it's got carbs, it's got everything you need. So if you're struggling, if you're somebody that's struggling to get some added calories in your loved one's diet, maybe they're losing weight and you're trying to figure out how to get a little more protein, a little more calories, anything that you can smear peanut butter on, put it on there.
Right.
I love putting it in my oatmeal in the morning.
Oh, oatmeal, that's my favorite. Yeah, and then I put some almonds in there.
Yes.
It's
So
good.
my oatmeal is flax seeds, hemp seeds. Whole hemp seeds are so high in protein. They're in magnesium.
Really?
They're a wonderful food. I just didn't find them at the grocery store when I ran in there. But they are fantastic. I buy mine at Costco in like this huge tub of them.
And so you with the flax seed and the hemp seeds, you just like make it like you would normally a regular like oatmeal, like boil
just
it?
use a little extra water. I put mine in the microwave.
Okay.
So just do like a half a cup of the oatmeal, 2 tablespoons of hemp seeds, 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, and then, you know, for the oatmeal, if you double the water amount. So if you have half a cup of oats, you do a cup of water. I add probably another quarter of a cup for the seeds, you know, because they're going to absorb the extra water. And then throw some berries on top. And then a little something for sweetness, whether it's brown sugar, or honey, or
I use honey. Like my oatmeal consists of just regular oatmeal, but oats. But then I have the low sugar peanut butter is what I use.
Okay.
And then I use slivered almonds. Then I do a little bit of honey.
Okay.
And bananas.
Yes, bananas. I love those. Yes.
So good.
Yeah. And then a scoop of peanut butter in there. Oh my gosh! If that's what I eat for breakfast, I eat breakfast usually at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. By noon, I'm finally hungry again. So it holds me over for about 6 hours.
And the good thing about about peanut butter too is if you're on the run, I have noticed this because a lot of us at work do this. We'll get peanut butter and get some kind of granola or whatever and put some berries or something in it, mix it up and just eat it right quick. If we're like on the run and like, you know, doing health fairs and in between doing clients or whatever.
Yes. My favorite thing to eat before I do like a long run or a half marathon is peanut butter and banana toast. So just a piece of whole wheat toast with the peanut butter smeared all over
and
a
that
banana.
Warm peanut butter on that toast.
Oh yeah, it gets a little melty.
Good, yes. And you know that was Elvis Presley's favorite thing.
Yes,
but it was
he had to fry it.
Yeah, he fried his peanut butter.
Right,
banana.
he did. So yes, peanut butter is just definitely one of those foods that, you know, you need it in your pantry at all times. Unless you're allergic, and then I'm very sorry. But, you know, we have almond butter and there's sunflower butter and cashew butter. There's a lot of options
right.
nowadays. So, yeah. So then we talked a little bit about when your loved one isn't eating very well and how to add the peanut butter to things. So if you have somebody that has dementia or Alzheimer's, then very often we do see that they, you know, start not eating as much. And so we want to just try to figure out what's going on with that. Sometimes it's a simple mechanical problem. Like I hear all the time that mom's a vegetarian now, but a lot of times it's mom's teeth aren't working as well. They're worn down, or she's lost teeth, or that kind of thing. And so that's really, it's not that she doesn't want to eat meat anymore, it's that she, you know, can't eat it anymore.
Right.
So evaluating if that's the issue. And then sometimes there's a swallowing problem.
Oh yeah, that's very common.
It happens, especially if they've had a stroke, you know, or they have the myasthenia gravis, Parkinson's. There's lots of diseases where swallowing becomes an issue.
Or holding utensils, because now they actually have, I know that we did this for our clients, they actually have spoons and forks and different things that have a different grip on them, so that if they have rheumatoid arthritis really bad, or they have other mobility issues, that they can grip their spoon, their fork, or whatever better, to where they can better feed themselves.
And that's where I think it's really important to utilize the services available. So if you have somebody that has home health, then, and you notice those issues, ask about having an occupational therapist come out to see if, you know, what utensil, or if they're having swallowing issues, asking for a speech therapist to come out and see, you know, is there some exercises we can do to strengthen those throat muscles to make it where they can, you know, stay on a regular texture as long as possible. So definitely, you know, if you have those benefits, use those services.
Yes.
But then we also want to maximize the calories that they're already eating. So if you're not eating very well already, then telling them to eat something else, to drink a supplement, is just overwhelming. So that's where adding the peanut butter to the toast that they eat every morning,
or to their smoothie.
Yes, or adding the seeds. There's a great source of protein and fiber and healthy fats, so that we can get those calories in there without making them feel overwhelmed.
Right, and you were talking too earlier about how important it is for distractions when they're eating.
Yes. So if you are, you know, trying to get your loved one to eat and you notice that they're not eating as well, sometimes if the TV's on, that can be a huge distraction for somebody with a mental capacity problem going on. So if they have dementia and the TV's playing and there's somebody, like if there's somebody going through a tragic situation, they're not going to pay attention to their food. They're worried about this person that they can't process is not happening in real life.
Right, they can't differentiate between reality and what's on the screen.
So limiting those distractions, sitting down to eat with them. You know, sometimes we're busy and so we're just like, hey, I need you to eat and I've got to go run, do this or do that.
Right. But it helps you as a caregiver too, because we're trying to keep you know, the caregiver healthy too.
That's right. So eating together.
You have to.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Eating together is a huge thing we need to do.
And especially for the older generation too. And I know that me, you know, when I grew up, that was a big thing, is eating with your family, sitting at you know, at the table. And now with all the new technology that's going on,
we're always,
it's, you know, and it's very sad to me, because I know sometimes I'll go to a restaurant and I'll see a family and they're all over there just like glued to their TV or to their screens, and they're not engaging with each other. And so that is huge. I mean, to sit down with that person and eat with them, because it'll help you mentally and physically too, if you're taking care of yourself.
Yeah, just taking that time together. It's a great bonding
to breathe
time
and
too.
Actually spend quality time with that person that you're taking care of.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah, because we just take it for granted.
That's right. We really do.
Yeah.
So
we take it for granted.
And then the last thing is just encouraging higher calorie fluids. So if we, you know, I know for the general population, we usually recommend lower % fat milk, but for your elderly patient that may not be eating that great, the whole milk is going to be better because we want those calories in there.
And if somebody wants to contact somebody about this, we will put that in online, and I'll put that information on there. We have run out of time. I'm so sorry.
I could talk for hours.
I'm so glad that you're here. But thank you so much for joining us here on WEAC TV 24 on Alabama Cares Rise and Shine. And we will see you next Friday, and we hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and don't forget to wear green on Monday.